Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
More than 130,000 Metro Detroiters remain under a boil water advisory following this weekend's giant water main break. Tonight, though, water distribution efforts are in full swing, and the time frame for a fix is looking a bit better. It may not be 2 full weeks or more before homes and businesses can get back to normal.
We sure hope not, because 7 communities are still being told to boil water, and they are the Village of Almont, Bruce Township, Birchville Township, Imlay City, Rochester, Shelby Township, and Washington Township. Sky 4 giving us a look at the site of the broken main in Fort Gratiot Township near Lake Huron. The replacement pipe has arrived, and that may bring a quicker resolution. Jason Colthorpe in Shelby Township tonight, where in the meantime, people who need water are able to get it right now, Jason.
Well, Devin is the word now. They blew through 1,000 cases of water here in Shelby Township in just 3 hours. You can see all that's left is township officials telling people the bad news who are just pulling into Whispering Woods Park here, one of the 3 distribution centers, that they're all out. I mean, there were pallets of water here all day at 3 different sites. The other 2 sites are almost out. They just have jugs of water left. And the bad news is tomorrow, they're only going to have 500 cases, half of what they had today. A water emergency remains in effect tonight for 133,000 people, 80,000 of whom live in Shelby Township.
Yep, no problem.
There are 3 emergency distribution sites set up for people who are unable to boil water or cannot leave the house.
It's very hard for us. We're in our 90s.
Cars quickly backed up at Whispering Woods Park off 21 Mile Road.
We use it just for drinking, because I have to drink like 4 or 5 bottles a day. So 12 or 24 pack does not last very long.
Thank you.
I'm not used to boiling water, so it's a little bit, but otherwise not too bad.
Brushing my teeth is really hard to do.
How you doing? Strong?
Please.
Like much of our infrastructure, we're going to continue to see problems like this.
Macomb County Executive Mark Hackel was at the broken pipe site this morning in Fort Gratiot Township. The good news is the section of 120-inch pipe needed to fix the broken main has already arrived from Texas.
We still have areas of concern. Macomb County specifically, right up to this Van Dyke corridor, they're still not getting a tremendous amount of pressure, albeit everybody's got pressure enough to take care of sanitary issues in their homes, even showering, but it's about the drinking water.
If this goes 2 weeks, I mean, just put it into perspective. It
would be very hard for us, very hard.
Yeah, hard on a lot of folks, that's no kidding. And you can see this was scheduled to go from 2 to 7 tonight. It will also go tomorrow and Wednesday as long as they have supplies of water like that. And the township also wanted us to stress this is an emergency distribution. They're asking for cooperation. They won't turn anyone away, but if anyone can get by without getting the free water, they'd like it to go to the people who really do need it. As for that fix, Mark Hackel stressed that that 2-week time frame, they got the pipe quickly, but they do have to run that test on the water after they get it fixed. And he said the fix might be a little more intricate than they think. So that one's anyone's guess at this point. You can just cross your fingers. We'll have much more on how this is affecting restaurants coming up tonight at 6. We're in Shelby Township. Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Real struggle right now. All right, Jason, back to you here at 6 o'clock. Right now on clickondetroit.com, we've got all sorts of resources for those who've been affected by this water main break. You'll find a full breakdown of what residents need to know, along with the CDC's best practices for boil water advisories. There's also a list of locations for, as we just saw with Jason there, emergency water distribution. We continue to update that as new ones pop up.
A big day in the retrial of 2 men accused of plotting to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The prosecution's star witness, an FBI informant, taking the stand. All the while, concerns remain that a potentially compromised juror could lead to a mistrial or a successful appeal on conviction. Sean Lay joins us live with the latest on this story. Sean.
Kimberly, never a dull moment in this trial. It's week number 2. The star prosecution witness focusing a lot on defendant Adam Fox today, saying Fox was intent on kidnapping Governor Whitmer, putting her on trial and hanging her for treason. But there are bumps in the road all along the way of this retrial. The trial moving into its second week with a cloud over it. The judge allowing a juror to continue on listening to testimony after it was revealed last week that juror may be compromised. The judge was alerted that the juror apparently wanted to be picked for this jury, and the juror already decided the case beforehand. On the witness stand today, Dan Chappell, the prosecution's star witness, the FBI's key informant, who paid him $60,000 to inform on the men allegedly plotting to kidnap the governor. Defense attorneys for Adam Fox and Barry Croft argue Chappell is the one who controlled the entire plot. Prosecutors asking Chappell, "Were you the leader?" Chappell said no. Who was the leader? Chappell said Adam Fox. The jury then saw video and heard secret recordings of Chappell driving the defendants right up to Governor Whitmer's Elk Rapids home, the apparent target of the kidnapping. Prosecutors wanting to make the point that Chappell was only monitoring the men as they plotted and never suggested anything to them, despite paying for the travel, motels, and food. Chappell then told prosecutors he did tell them what to do. He says to de-escalate or try to scare the governor as she imposed COVID lockdown rules. Chappell testifying, "I said they could put a round through her window." Keep in mind, this key prosecution witness says Adam Fox was in charge of this group and formed this plan. Defense attorneys showed text messages from the prosecution witness to the FBI saying that he needed to focus Fox on the plan. His idea was to pair him up with another member of the group. The FBI sent him a text back saying, "Excellent work." So there's always another side to what's happening in this case. Much more tomorrow. Barry Croft, another defendant, his wife will be taking the witness stand. We're live tonight. Sean Lane, Local 4, back to you.
We'll be following it, Sean. Thank you.
A woman is found shot to death on Detroit's east side. Investigators still working to sort out what happened. We do know the victim is a 45-year-old woman, and police tell us she was shot as she got out of her car on Fairview near Mack and French. No word, though, on a possible motive here. We'll keep you posted as we learn more.
The United Kingdom is the first nation to approve an updated booster vaccine which targets two COVID variants. The so-called bivalent vaccine, manufactured by Moderna, targets the original virus strain from 2020 and the Omicron strain. The UK's health agency says the vaccine will be offered to people aged 50 and older in the fall. Both Moderna and Pfizer are currently brewing updated versions of their vaccine to include BA.5 in addition to the original COVID-19 virus.
A lovely, lovely day. Again, we just stay on this hot streak here.
Let's just keep it going. Check in with Kim Adams in the forecast. Hi, Kim.
Well, hi to both of you. We have a pleasant afternoon. We've got that northerly flow making those big white puffy cumulus clouds that are just so pretty and allow sunshine to filter through. But Exact Track radar is picking up a couple of isolated showers. Nothing severe, nothing like that, but to the west of Owasso, also in Jackson. In fact, I was watching this one little cell right here. Let me zoom in on it for you, just to the west of Howell, moving through White Oak. Thought it was going to make it to Howell, but I really don't think so. Most of the area is going to stay dry. So if you have outdoor plans this evening, don't worry about it. It's going to be very, very nice with partly cloudy skies. 76 at 8 o'clock tonight, dropping down into the upper 60s. Right now, 81 at City Airport and at Metro Airport, upper 70s in Pontiac and 79 in Port Huron. Talk about your next chance for rain and the humidity on the way, coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Kim. Federal law enforcement agents and their families are on high alert after a new warning about an increase in threats following the FBI's search of former President Trump's home in Florida. Bipartisan calls growing louder for more information on the classified documents seized at Mar-a-Lago and also the justification for the search. Alice Barr in Washington. In fact, she returns from maternity leave to bring us the latest. Alice.
Good evening. We've heard harsh words from several Republican members of Congress about the FBI search, but now we're starting to see a shift, with some in the GOP now backing the agency as members in both parties are pressing for more information. High-profile sites on high alert across the country amid a spike in threats against federal law enforcement, government, and judicial officials.
You're seeing open calls for violence and death threats against targeted individuals.
The FBI and Homeland Security warning of calls for violence circulating online following the search of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home last week. Court documents show FBI agents seized 11 sets of top secret and other highly classified documents.
Once those documents leave the White House, once they leave a government facility, they are incredibly vulnerable. to any foreign adversary that wants to get their hands on them.
While some Trump loyalists accuse the FBI of overreach, other Republicans are calling for a loyalty check.
The GOP is going to be the party of supporting law enforcement. Law enforcement includes the FBI.
With calls to justify the search growing louder.
Show that this was not just a fishing expedition.
The top Democrat and Republican on the Senate Intelligence Committee are now pushing for a full list of the documents found and an assessment of any national security risk resulting from their mishandling. The former president and his allies suggesting he declassified anything taken from the White House, but his former national security advisor John Bolton refutes that.
I think that claim is almost certainly a lie.
Noting he knows of no paper trail to back that up and alleging former President Trump was careless with sensitive documents. Also new today, a group of congressional Republicans sent letters to the FBI, Justice Department, and White House telling them to preserve documents about the Mar-a-Lago search, signaling they may want evidence for an investigation of their own. In Washington, Alice Barr, Local 4.
Hey, Alice, thank you. Help Me Hank recall alert to tell you about right now. More than 2 million infant rockers and swings have been recalled for a potential strangulation hazard. The company 4Moms is recalling certain Mamaroo baby swings and Rockaroo baby rockers. Officials say when the swing or rocker is not in use, the restraint straps can hang below the seat and a crawling infant could become entangled. A 10-month-old infant died from asphyxiation and another 10-month-old suffered neck injuries after being trapped. For complete information on the recall, head over to the homepage of clickondetroit.com.